Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got to discuss something involving Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. We have more late breaking news to discuss. We're coming off of the heels of that big time W over Colorado State. Coach Prime Deion Sanders expressed, his feelings. He wanted a decisive win over Colorado State after the disrespect of the Rams. So a lot of people was, caught up with Deion's play calling because he was trying to stick it to him last night. We got to get into it, man. It's flight sports. You already know what it is. After the game, Coach Prime Deion Sanders called Travis Hunter phenomenal. He said there's no ceiling to his ability. We all know what's going on with Travis and his exciting plays. Um, Bottom line is, Coach Prime wanted to destroy, Norvell and company. In quotes, he says, "We just really wanted it to be decisive." These are the quotes. So so clearly he didn't want to just beat Colorado State. He wanted to hand it to him. So I got the chief in the building. I don't know if this is smart by Deion, because they just got beat down. They decisively last week. And now he's back, with the bravado. I don't know if that's smart. I don't know if he should just fly under the radar. But that's why I got Chief in here to break down Deion's statements off of this big time win over Colorado State. What's your thoughts, man?
Prime time. He ain't gonna fly under the radar. He's never flew under the radar flight. With the good and the bad. Prime gonna be prime, bro. He's gonna be prime. That's what make him who he is. So, it started last year, double overtime. And I remember we was talking about this, because the thought was when we talked about this going into it, I said, Norvell, if he can, he gonna run it up. Like he would have, if the shoes on the other foot, Norvell would have ran it up. He would have run it up. And I wondered anyone would have questioned that. He would have ran it up. So if Deion was trying to run it up, hey, I'm okay with it, because on the other side, they would have run it up. This is where we at with this. This is what the team, all the teams, if they can get Colorado, they're going to try to run it up, because the goal is to humble Deion, bro. It is to humble him. They want him to fly low. They want to force him to fly low. They want to force him to bow. And Deion is not going to bow. He's just not. He'll find a way around his losses, whatever he says, and I'm not saying some of the things Deion Sanders brings on himself. Sometimes I think that he should pull back, but that's not his personality, man. I mean, in flight, if you've been watching Deion, even in his days when he was playing football, it was just what it was. And the NFL ate off of that for a long time. They love Deion and his all his quote unquote antics. The NFL loved it. They loved it. So it's nothing new. Deion's been doing this, forever, bro. It is what it is.
Right. Do you think that he should have this attitude with everybody, and not just Colorado State, because they got Baylor coming up? I think he should have this energy with everybody, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on just Colorado State?
He should. He must, because when they started off slow, Colorado needs to win, really, to justify him coming up there, Flight. It is what it is. Like I said last time, like I said last week when we was talking about this, Flight, all the celebrity and all the bravado don't mean nothing if you ain't cooking. So, in my opinion, as long as he keep the same energy, I'm okay with it, because that's who he is. But this hopefully will launch them to go on a string of wins. Hopefully, the locker room, whatever issues, real or alleged or speculated, was going on, have been squashed. I think that's why the optic of Shadua with the offensive line and Travis there was to squash any thought that there's a division in the locker room. I thought that was brilliant on their whole part to present that presentation at the victory, right? And again, Deion is Deion. Him and Norvell had a brief handshake. Something was said, and he kept it moving. There's no love between those two, bro. Not at all.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. Dion, it's been crazy. How do you sum up, so far, with Dion leaving Jackson State and coming to Colorado? How will you sum up the 10 years so far as of right now?
Right now, it's I would say it's a mixed bag. I say that they came out hot. They needed help with the offensive line last year, and they, as I said last week, I thought they fixed it, but maybe everybody's heads wasn't really where it needs to be, and that Nebraska loss kind of shook them and woke them up, and then they had their own little thing going on so they could show a more united front. This time, as far as Jackson State, it was a phenomenon that happened down there. You know, I've expressed my disappointment in Deion leaving. I really wanted him to stay down there for the culture, but he left, and because he's an icon and because of what he represents, a lot of our people, we can look past any imperfections because we're not all perfect or anything that we may disagree with to look at the larger picture of what he represents. And so I tempered my critique of Dion so that what he represents can inspire other youth and others who may be inspired by what he's doing and who really just want to play football and focus on that, not the other things outside of it. So I pulled back after my critique. I pulled back and I said, let those young men play. If Deion is who they want to play for, hopefully he can get them to where they need to be. And all the other things outside of that, we can critique or praise as we see fit.
I think that's a fair statement, because Dion has definitely taken a lot of, critiques. But, what's the success for Dion in Colorado? Is it a bowl game? Is it a national championship? Is it, getting these guys to the NFL? What do you think is the end goal?
The end goal should be, in my opinion, is layers to it. As many as outsiders should do in Travis, and hopefully Shiloh as well. I think it's kind of a thing. They're going to the next level. Whoever else can come from Colorado, they can go also to the NFL. I think that's a success for those young men. If not, at least they can complete their education, and and go and study, and so they can be productive, you know, young men growing into manhood. For Dion, a bowl game would be nice. It's this is we'll see if he can get to it. At least a national championship, a bowl game. If he can get to a national championship, that'll be good. But if he can get into a bowl game there, at least get there and hopefully win, I think that'll be good for Dion. I think it'll be good for him. It'll vindicate anything as far as him just being a lot of flash and no substance.
You're absolutely right, man. If you want more news on Colorado updates and more, make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV.